Well, hello and welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. And how are you doing today? Like, really? I'm asking for a reason. So our yard light, we have a main yard light that shines over our yard. And it's been burned out for the last week and a half. And it's been really weird. Very weird. Like, my husband loves it because our bedroom is right by the yard light, right? And ever since we've lived here, we have two windows and the bed's in between, right? So his blinds are always shut, totally shut. And mine are like, static, how they're open. They're open. I like a little light, okay? But it's been really weird. So my salt lamp burned out, the bulb burned out. And that was in my living room, so we had a little bit, the little orange glow. You know you have to ground those things, right? You're grounded for 24 hours. Yeah, you have to ground, you literally have to ground them, put them on the ground for like 24, 48 hours every 3 to 6 months or something like that. I have it written down somewhere, but yeah, salt lamps, you have to ground them. Otherwise you suck up all their energy, all their good vibe stuff, and it's gone. Yeah. So yeah, you have to ground your salt lamps. But anyway, so that light has been burnt out and it's been so weird. So it's just dark and I had to go to town and it was late and I walked outside and it's just pitch black, like pitch black. And I'm just like, wow, like this is so crazy. Like, we used to have a motion light, but once we built the garage and stuff, we didn't put it back on. And because of the yard light, and it's just weird. It's just totally black. Like, and I'm looking like, where's my phone? And then when I come into my room at night, it's like, it's just, if I happen to like shut the door, it's just pitch black. There's nothing. And I'm like, okay, so this is a little weird, but all I could think was, is this how people feel when they have no more hope inside? When they are just totally feel like they are hopeless and their life is over and they're so depressed or something that they can't come out of it? Because we had a visiting priest from another parish, and he was telling us how many suicides they had in their parish. I can't remember if it was 3 or 30 or 100 in a short span of time, and that's still 3 too many when you really think about it. It's just devastating. But it was, in that pitch black darkness, that's all I could think about is, wow, if you have nobody to take your hand and help you through, or you don't have no guiding light, that light, it's like, is this how they feel? I mean, I get depressed, I'm not medicated for depression, but I mean, I feel all the things: depressed, betrayed, happy, sad, angry, frustrated, overwhelmed, all the things. And feelings are not wrong. I've said this, probably haven't said it in a while, but there are no wrong feelings to feel. You are allowed to feel how you feel. It's how you react. It's the action to the feelings that sometimes is wrong. Okay? But it was a weird thing. It was a weird thought, and I've been thinking about it all week with this darkness surrounding us, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like walking out of my room and there's no warm glow from my salt lamp. It's pitch black. And then I hear this thump, 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 thump against the couch, because that's Willow, because she has a tail. If there's no tail, don't pet it. No. Yeah, but I was just thinking, like, is that how people feel? There's no hope. There's nothing. There's no light to lead them. There's sad. It's really sad. But what do you think about that? I mean, I don't know. It was just not a twisted thought, but it was just this thing that's been on my mind kind of all week. But anyway, this is not an episode of Tonya's Witchy Kitchen Tea Time. This is not an episode of Tonya's Witchy Kitchen Life with Spice. And I'm sure you know that because you've seen the little cow logo on the picture, right? Right, yeah. But I'm going to keep this short and sweet because we have a lot to do today. And we are talking about ghee today. Ghee. I'll put it right down below. Ghee. It is kind of like clarified butter, but it actually goes a step farther than clarified butter. And we will talk about all the information in the video. So 3 things. Dream big. Be true to you. You are worth it. You are worth it. And let's go check out all this cool information about ghee. Okay, from raw butter to ghee. Let's talk about this. So a lot of people consider ghee to be clarified butter, and it is a simple way to explain it. But in reality, ghee is clarified butter that has been simmered and strained longer than clarified butter would be. So it's simmered and strained to remove all the water and all the milk solids from it. And by removing those milk solids, that is what makes ghee perfect for people who are lactose intolerant. Ghee, or greta in the Sanskrit language, is originated in India or the Middle East. It's been part of the Ayurvedic. You hear a lot of that lately, that word. For like 1,000 years or longer for medicinal purposes and for eating. Like I said before, it is lactose and casein free, and you can infuse spices in it if you want to, whether it's homemade or store-bought. You can always do that, and it's a really good addition with cooking. You know, to spice up your meal and give it some flavor so you're not just eating, cardboard. I'm kidding. Okay, so here's the first ghee. This is my raw ghee and my raw butter. I'm making raw ghee. And this is the foaming stage. This is the foaming stage. Now, I will show you what happens or what people do when it's store-bought butter. But raw butter, we do not take the foam off, okay? We leave the foam there. It's just so much easier. So we're going to watch this stage and we're going to watch the ghee because our final stage is called the big bubble stage. It reminds me of like when you have a coconut soap, and you're lathering it up and you have those big bubbles, okay? And I will show you that. But this is the foaming stage, and we are not going to do anything with it but let it cook. Oh, heat. We want it on the lowest heat possible, okay? This is the smallest burner on my stove. It is set at low, the lowest it can go, because you don't want to end up burning, the milk solids, which you could possibly do. Okay, so as we watch this, you can store ghee in an airtight container out of the sun, and about 3 months on the counter. You can put it in the fridge, and you can actually put it in the freezer, but you want to thaw it before you use it. If you have it in the freezer unopened, it can last 6 to 9 months on the counter, out of the sunlight type of thing, but unopened. Okay. It has a very high smoke point, like 480 degrees Fahrenheit, where butter has a smoke point of 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So definitely benefits on that side of the spectrum too. It's great for sauteing. It's great for frying, dipping, drizzling. Baking, it just depends on what it is you're baking. Like the baking, they're like, you might want to still stick with butter, right? Another thing was it's in bulletproof coffee. I didn't get a chance to look up what bulletproof coffee was, but I put it in my coffee, so I thought it was a great thing. Okay, this stage, you can see, we're still the foaming stage, but it's starting to separate and it's starting to clear out, which is good. And here we are further along, where the milk solids are starting to drop to the bottom, and we're getting our beautiful clear liquid on top. Now, this butter, I will show you the next one. This one didn't have a whole lot of water to it, so we didn't get the spitting and splackling and, things flying all over like you will see in the next one. But look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Those are the milk solids, and they are just kind of, doing its thing. But you can see we're kind of at the big bubble stage here. Do you see the big bubbles? They're just beautiful. And that's what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for. And it just sounds different too. And so once we get to this stage, we can this is ghee. This is the beautiful ghee. We can shut it off. We can just let it cool for just a little bit and strain it through a cheesecloth and a strainer. Those are the milk solids on the bottom of the pan. And those are the ones that are strained off. And I have this beautiful golden, oh, it smells amazing. It tastes amazing. So we're going to start another one, okay? We're going to pretend this is from the store. I couldn't find any store-bought butter in my house. I'm sorry. I mixed this one up really, really well. Oh my gosh. Okay, but another thing about ghee, it's high in vitamin A and E and D and omegas. A is great for your immune system and eye health. It also has some anti-inflammatory acids, CLAs, which are conjugated linoleic acid, which helps reduce body fat. Hello. And butyric acid, which is an anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so here we're starting to see it's going to start to simmer, and the fats, it's starting to separate because the milk fats are coming up on top. Okay, so this is the smallest pan I own, and this is like one of my big burners. So in reality, I don't think I show you, but I ended up burning some milk solids on the bottom. But this was great. So this one, we're going to pretend that this is butter from the store. And butter from the store, as you know, has a lot more water in it than raw butter, right? We were talking like up to 18%. That's their standard. But this one must have had a little bit more water, maybe because it was frozen. This is where the splashing and the popping and because the water evaporated, and my heat was a little high, sorry. But it was a great demonstration. So this is where it's the water evaporating that makes that sound, that makes it spit and splatter all over. Okay, that's just the water evaporating out of the ghee. So if you have a lot of water, you're going to have a lot of sputtering of it. And then, don't ask me why I wouldn't do this. I will never do this again. But they say to scrape the foam off. Now, some people say you're scraping the water off. I don't think so. My grandma used to scrape the potato water off because it would foam because of the type of water we have. It's well water. And so she would scrape that foam off the potatoes. I don't think this is the same thing, you guys. I'm pretty sure that if you have store-bought butter, you just, let it pop and snap, crackle, and pop and evaporate the water, and the solids will still go down and you can still separate them off. If I'm wrong about this, please tell me, because everybody says scrape the foam off except this one girl who was like, she goes, it's a waste of time. You're standing there for 10 minutes scraping the foam off. And I agree with her. I totally agree with her. There aren't any really benefits calorie-wise, nutrition-wise. I mean, the ghee is very nutritious. Raw compared to butter, they're very similar. Very similar. Look at those bubbles. Here is the bubble stage. The big bubble. That's a really great way for you to see it. I thought it was pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure it will strain off just as well as everything else does. Now, if you're concerned about water in your ghee, you are supposed to be able to add a little salt to it. But I mean, if you boil it long enough and low temp, I can't stress that enough, it should be fine, okay? and use it within 3 months. Da 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 da. We're good. You can also add spices to this at this point, like right at the end, like cloves or cinnamon or star anise. I mean, oh, yummy. Can you imagine that stuff on like French toast? Hello. In my coffee. Hello. Yeah. All the things I can do with this ghee. And we're going to strain it just like we did the other stuff. We're going to shut it off. We're going to let it cool a little bit, so we don't break the jar, and strain it through a cheesecloth. So we get all the milk solids removed. And we have this beautiful, beautiful ghee. Okay? Now, this is what it looks like the next day. Literally the next day. I let it set overnight. Our house is at like 70 degrees. It's kind of like coconut oil. It will solidify and it will liquefy, very much like coconut oil. But it has a beautiful nutty flavor, and that's the thing. Raw ghee will have a beautiful nutty flavor compared to ghee that is made from store-bought butter, but you're still going to get the beautiful flavor. Here is my ghee as it was trying to slowly solidify. It's just beautiful. It's just yummy. And one cautionary thing from the Ayurvedic community is you do not mix equal parts ghee with equal parts honey. That is a no-no. I will let you do your research on that because I'm not going to explain it. Just don't do it. I can't wait for the next video on this, and I'm not going to tell you what we're doing, but I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.